Good morning and welcome to Daybreak Plus on this Monday, January 12th. And we do start with breaking news. Garlin Gilchrist, our lieutenant governor, who had been running for governor, announced he's no longer running for governor, but he's not done campaigning. He's running for Secretary of State instead. He announced that with a video on social media this morning. Here's a look at that full video announcement.
Hey, Michigan. As your candidate for governor, I've traveled this state from Detroit to Marquette and heard so many Michiganders tell me about their struggles and their hopes for the future. You welcomed me into your homes and your communities. It has been an honor to serve you every day, and I thank you. Today, I want you to hear directly from me that I'm suspending my campaign for governor. The time for me to serve in that role may come, but now is not that time. At heart, I'm a public servant, an entrepreneur, a dad, a husband, and an engineer who spent a lot of my life making government actually work for people. I'm not done with that, not by a long shot. You've told your stories about the high cost of everything and the threats to our democracy. You sounded the alarm about this president who acts like a king. And you know Michigan has been ground zero in the battle for free and fair elections before, and it will be again. This tangled web of corruption and control is meant to crush our power to participate. We have to fix this. If we don't, we can't fix anything else. That's why today, I am declaring my candidacy for Secretary of State of Michigan to defend and fix this democratic system so it can help solve our challenges, not make things worse. As Secretary of State, I will shine a light on dark money and put the public first. I will modernize licensing and registration by providing smarter 21st century service. I will protect your privacy and never allow your identity, voter registration information, or license plate data to be mined by big tech companies or surveilled by the Trump administration. Now, more than ever, the problem with our politics is that it's rigged toward the people with the most wealth. They want us to give up and check out, but we won't. Our right to vote gives each of us an equal voice in our future. We can't let anyone take that right away. Michigan voters deserve the best. Every farmer and every teacher, every waitress and every entrepreneur, every line worker and every artist. Let's stand tall together. Join me in this fight.
Yeah, so that's news that we'll be following today, working to get reaction from Garlin Gilchrist today and others involved who are campaigning in either the governor's race or the Secretary of State's race. Okay, let's bring in Matt. Talk about the forecast. Hi, Matt.
Hi, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm quite well. How are you?
You mentioned you were busy this weekend putting together a presentation.
Yeah, I belong to the Southwest Michigan AMS NWA kind of regional chapter, and we're hosting tomorrow evening at 6:30.
Nice.
Well, each month we do, we have a meeting and we have a guest speaker, and I'm the one.
You're it.
Yeah. So yeah, I was working on that this weekend. So.
What are you going to be talking about?
Well, we've talked about a lot of things throughout the years. I belonged to it for about 15 years. And one thing I noticed no one's discussed is how volcanoes in years past or recent volcanoes have influenced our atmosphere and our weather, both here and abroad. And so I thought I'd take on that subject.
I saw volcano pictures over in the tracking center earlier, and I wondered what that was all
Yeah,
about.
that's what that was about.
Okay.
So my personal experience was kind of, I remember back in 1992 when my wife, and she moved into a house, her parents built a house on a lake, so we're all excited. They're like, okay, it's going to be a great summer, spent a lot of time in the water skiing and so forth. But that summer turned out to be really cold, like one of the coldest ever in the state of Michigan. So it's like every time we try to go out, it was just really too chilly. It was kind of prohibitive. So I was thinking, well, it really stems from Mount Pinatubo eruption in the Philippines. And it just struck me as, it fascinated me because in the Philippines, all the way on the other side of the earth, just this volcano can impact the weather here in West Michigan so starkly. And so I thought, no, let's talk about that.
When you do look at the atmosphere and the streams in the atmosphere, it is wild to think about how close we are connected.
Oh, absolutely.
When on land, the distance seems so far. Even the wildfires. I know that's not as far as a volcano on the other side of the world, but the fact that wildfires pretty far away can impact our air so much.
Yeah, we saw that a couple summers ago and a little bit last summer. So yeah, it's
cool. I bet that'll be an interesting
I'm
presentation.
hoping people come out and join if it's absolutely free, and if you want to take a look at it and join me, go ahead. It's at the WAMA, West Michigan Aviation kind of complex, but specifically it's 4151 Aviator Way. Tomorrow evening at 6:30, and I talk about that. Also, not just Mount Pinatubo, but also a more recent eruption, and that is Hungatunga.
That's fun to say.
Hungatunga, Haipai. Anyway, very few people have heard about that yet. It is the largest explosion ever recorded with man-made instruments, and that happened in January of 2022, and very few people are even aware of it. And I wasn't aware of it. And I ran across an article. I was like, holy cow, man, this is one of the biggest. They say, just reading through it, it might be one of the biggest eruptions or explosions since Krakatoa in 1883. So I was like, well, that's pretty significant.
Somewhat.
Yeah, so I'm digging into that as well. And that did have an influence on our weather in kind of a different way. It put so much water vapor in the atmosphere it actually warmed us instead of cooled us like most of the volcanoes do. But anyway, here we go. Closer to home and now, I want to first show you, this is a map that Ellen made last night, a cool graphic, and kind of shows you where we stand so far this winter for snowfall. It's been abundant in most areas, especially at the lakeshore, and that's typically the case. Some areas have now cracked that century mark with snowfall. About a week ago, I mentioned that Marquette had successfully done it. Now we've added on Sault Ste. Marie to the mix. Gaylord's just about 70 inches, Muskegon at 55, Grand Rapids. Believe it or not, Grand Rapids were about 2 inches below average. As you work your way, away from Lake Michigan, you can see what happens. You don't receive quite as much snow, such as Detroit at 17 inches, which, by the way, they're about 2 inches above average. So
Detroit is above average.
yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty. I wanted to show this because this month of January, we only average about 22% sunshine. And so far this month, we've only had 12.
Oh, I believe it. So this will help make up for that a little bit.
I hope so. We'll take any sunshine we can get in, in the winter. And
Was
so
it
we'll take
October,
it.
though, where we had just so much sunshine?
Yeah, it was really sunny. It was really nice. The whole fall was quite sunny, above average. So, then, we just get into winter doldrums.
Yeah.
And just clouds. Kind of goes hand in hand. When you have a lot of lake effect, it means, the snow comes from the clouds, so you get a lot of clouds as well. So here's the good news. Sunshine throughout the day. It's going to take a little bit for the Grand Rapids area and points to the northwest, southwest wind because we're still cold enough for generating some lake effect clouds, but those clouds should be breaking up throughout the day. Mid-30s for highs. But what I wanted to point out with this graphic, notice the sunset time.
5:30. Woohoo! We had watch out that arm doesn't hold. I took the kids ice skating last night. And we walked out of the arena at 6, and it was still kind of light out. And they were like, "Oh, it's not as dark." I'm like, "You're right."
Yes, I think we're at that point. We're just starting to notice it because the earliest sunset is, I believe, 8 after 5 o'clock or 5:08. So we keep adding about a minute and a half each day to that time. And
yesterday
also
was the first day I really noticed it.
Yeah.
Yep. I've noticed it in the morning, but.
Yep, and we're also adding a little bit each morning to the sunrise. So it's both ends. For a while there, we were just adding it to the sunset, but now it's both ways.
Nice.
Okay, here is how the week is going to play out. And I say that, I always look at the upper air pattern because it kind of shoves the high pressures, low pressures around, and also the air masses. So we'll start out this week semi-mild, nothing like the 50s and 60s we had last Friday. So mid-30s today, right around 40 for Tuesday. Then here comes the crash on Wednesday into Thursday with Arctic air moving in. It's kind of a 1-2 punch. Here's the first one, and then here comes the second one for the weekend. So what that will do is certainly produce cold temperatures around here. Snow, it doesn't look very abundant, and there's reasons why. To get favorable lake effect snow in Arctic air, first of all, Arctic air is really dry, so you have to have a really good combination of the wind coming off Lake Michigan and kind of some surface moisture seeding, if you will, or low-level moisture that really helps enhance the snow. We're not going to see that aspect of it, so I don't think snow amounts are going to get crazy, at least not as of yet. So here we go. Then you can see the breaks and the clouds out there, and remarkably quiet across the United States. It's not too often you could drive from San Francisco all the way to Washington, D.C. and hardly run into a cloud this time of year, and that is the case. There isn't any storm, north, west, east, south, whatever, anywhere in the United States. That's very unusual. So I thought I'd show you a big broad perspective of that. The net result for us is a pretty nice winter day with some sunshine out there. And then that changes tomorrow. Clouds come in after a nice sunset this evening. And then kind of mostly rain tomorrow, although some of the forecast models mix in just a touch of snow, but it's mostly going to be some rain showers. That moves out. And then we'll pick it up on Wednesday. There's that Arctic cold front I was alluding to. And so rain snow mix out there. As that cold front drops to the south, the cold air is going to, we call advect in. So that means a horizontal movement of air, and that's cold air this go around. And notice how the heaviest snow is over Lake Michigan. That's with a due north wind. So that's one of the reasons why I don't think snow amounts are going to get crazy. So I just wanted to take a look at potential snow through this weekend. You can see how it really hugs the Lake Superior shoreline and also Lake Michigan and kind of gets the thumb region. So I don't expect a whole lot of snow in inland areas at this point. There's a little bit of a caveat of that coming up on Saturday that may change a bit, but right now it looks like the bulk of the snow once again will be at the lakeshore.
Okay.
So we're certainly not going to lose any snow once we get beyond Tuesday. We picked up about 3.5 inches this past weekend. Personally, I was quite glad to see the snow back on the ground. And then you could see, the colder pattern then unfolds. Not too brutal. I mean, for this time of year, we can have highs in the single digits with a true Arctic blast. So it looks like 20s and teens in that 8-day forecast once we get beyond Wednesday morning. And then we'll pick it up January 20th through the 26th. Looks like below average temperatures persisting more often than not. For the tail end of the month. There's some forecast models that really bring in some true Arctic air, like single-digit high temperatures, lows well below zero. So we'll see what happens later in the month and see if they are correct. But here's the precip outlook. So you have the combination of below average temperatures and above average precip. Yeah, that's snow, and we should keep it around here for quite some time once we get midweek and thereafter.
Okay. I was telling my husband not to worry because you said it was going to cool down and stay, below freezing for the most part. Because where is that? I don't know why this is. I've been having issues this morning with.
It's a Monday.
Pictures. Okay, now they're showing up. Yeah, our basement. I mentioned Friday that we had flooding in the basement. This is the picture from it. But yeah.
Did you get that resolved?
Yeah.
The sigh says no.
I mean, we did. I think so.
Yeah.
I think we got it resolved.
So someone came out?
They're going to look at the foundation and try and fix whatever's
So
going
it's the
on.
foundation.
Yeah, we think it's from a crack in the foundation, but
so
is it resolved as in
yeah,
is
we
the
had
floor
quite a bit
put
of rain
back together and the trim put back on? No.
Yeah, right.
But we'll get there.
Did you lose any furniture or?
No, it's really not. I mean, all in all, it's not that bad.
Okay.
It was we didn't even lose drywall. It's just through the floor that.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Just frustrating.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. Plus that rain last week didn't help. If the ground would have stayed solid, you probably wouldn't even noticed.
Well, it was so rainy.
Yeah.
Was it? I guess
yeah,
Thursday
it was Thursday.
night.
Well, we had those thunderstorms.
We
on
had those
Thursday.
thunderstorms, and that Thursday night, yeah, it was just really rainy. So.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, life throws some curveballs at you.
Yeah, I guess in the scheme of curveballs, this isn't too bad. Anyway, thank you, Matt.
Yeah, sure.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
We do have Tom Hillen standing by. We're going to check in with him coming up next. Go over some celebrity birthdays, a few interesting things that happened on this day in Michigan history. Don't go away. Be right back. Welcome back to Daybreak Plus. Look who it is.
I'm here.
It's Tom Hillen. Tom, are you ready to talk celebrity birthdays?
I am ready. I'm not going to be as good at it as what George is.
Well,
but
this is George's not brainchild, but
it's his passion.
It's his favorite segment
Yes.
of the show. So today, happy birthday to Howard Stern. The shock jock.
I grew up in the Howard Stern era, and when he really like pushed the envelope and really was creating, I don't know, shock value. Yeah.
1979 is when he created the Howard Stern show.
Okay.
Isn't that kind of wild?
It is, and I think he's still doing it? Question mark.
Oh yeah, he's still doing things.
Okay.
I mean, everything has changed from what it was then.
Yeah.
But now
wow,
everybody's
1979. Back in the day, that's before like
you or I were born.
Both that and before like satellite radio and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yep, and he survived all of that.
He sure did.
Also, happy birthday to Zayn Malik, who is 33 years old.
Okay.
Tom, you weren't as familiar with him.
But you said he's part of One Direction.
He was part of One Direction.
Okay.
English singer, former member of One Direction. He left in March 2015 and released his debut album, Mind of Mine.
Okay, is there a...
Pillow Talk.
Oh, I know that song.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so that's him.
Okay.
And then our final celebrity birthday is... Everybody knows Jeff
Bezos.
Amazon.
Changed the world, that one.
Yeah.
Very wealthy.
Partial funder of businesses like Airbnb, Twitter, and Uber.
Oh, did not know that little factoid. But you know what? I don't know that there's anybody out there that has not utilized Amazon at least once in their life, you know? Speaking
Even
of which,
if it
I have
was-
some Amazon returns I need to do, so...
Oh, those are always fun.
yeah. Well, I just go to Kohl's.
Yeah, it's not that hard. I'm just not good at
It's just, yeah, I know.
those things.
I know. I'm like, ugh.
Golden Globes last night.
Yes. You know me, I love awards.
I'm counting on you for this.
Yes,
Because you're my Golden Globes guy
it was-
and awards show guy.
I think there was a lot of the K-pop Demon Hunter singer Golden. She's singer-songwriter, so she was very emotional in her acceptance speech.
And that is one, I know every song to that movie.
Yes, I bet you do. Yeah,
From the kids,
Timothy
but-
Chalamet,
Who's
Kevin
that?
O'Leary. That's Kevin O'Leary. He's Mr. Wonderful. So he, I think, funded the movie that Timothy Chalamet starred in. The one thing I did realize is like I watch a lot of TV, so I'm familiar with all of the TV programs and actors that won. I just realized last night watching this that I've not seen any of the movies that are
None of them.
nominated. No, I mean, no.
Okay.
No. So, but a
So
lot
you
of
have
my...
some work to do before the
I
Oscars.
do. I have a little bit of time before the Oscars, but a lot of the shows that I watch, actors won. So that was, we saw there Noah, I forget his last name, but he's from The Pit.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really good.
Wiley?
So, yes, Noah Wiley, which I think he was also in ER. So
He was.
He's like...
He was.
The medical
He was a
drama
young
series are
resident, I
really
think,
his bread and butter, but, and then Jean Smart won for her role in Hacks, which I also love. So it was a big night for HBO. A lot of their shows did really well. So, yeah.
It's good to pay attention to that to try and kind of guess what's going to
happen for the Oscars. So
Yep.
I love the awards for both the speeches, the recognition of the work that is done, but also, I mean, obviously
The fashion? Well, yeah.
And the two guys from Heated Rivalry were there. I mean, they have shot to stardom very quickly. And so that show was not eligible to be nominated for this year's Golden Globes, but I fully anticipate next year. Yeah.
All right. Something to look for.
Yes.
Okay, Tom's going to join me for On This Day in Michigan History. And the first one that we have, in 1863, the Michigan Sharpshooters Company K was formed. And this was primarily from Indians in the Union Army.
Okay.
From Chippewa, Ottawa, and Potawatomi tribes of northern Michigan.
Okay.
And it was a guy, Garrett G. Graveray of Little Traverse, who was mixed Chippewa blood, and he helped get, these men enlisted.
Yeah.
They were the sharpshooters.
Okay, so like the Chippewa tribe, I assume that's the one in mid-Michigan?
Most of them were tribes of northern Michigan.
Oh, okay. All right.
But, yeah. So that was that. We also, on this day in Michigan history, in 1878,
wow,
the first Detroit Free Press Women's Edition. And this was like...
so there were two different papers that would come out?
It was, what would you call it? I don't know. It was I can't remember what the name of this was. I'm sorry.
But that's,
not like a leaflet, but I don't know. Like, it was just a part of the Detroit Free Press.
Okay, so it was a part of...
Yes, but it was specifically for women.
Do you remember, the press used to come out like twice a day.
Yeah, that's right.
And now it's...
Talk about things changing.
Maybe twice a week, if that. But the Detroit Free Press
But
really...
they update the website more than twice a day.
Well, that is very true. Very true. But very cool. I did not know that this was a thing, that there was a women's edition inside.
Household. 1959, this is a big one.
Wow, yes.
Berry Gordy Jr. founded Motown Records, which was originally actually Tamla Records in Detroit. But
think of all the big names and the music and the songs and everything that Berry Gordy is responsible. You see Smokey Robinson right there. You have Patti LaBelle. You have Aretha Franklin.
110 top 10 hit songs.
That's crazy.
During this period. It's nuts.
Have you
Such
ever
an
been
impact.
to... Oh, what is the name of that? The Motown Museum?
I have.
Hitsville,
I was a
USA?
kid. I've never been
there.
And I want to go back as an adult.
I do too.
Because you just pay attention more.
And it's like,
things hit differently.
Well, they hit differently, and there's so many things that we take for granted that are here in Michigan that you just kind of forget about.
Yep.
And not that we forget about Motown, obviously, but it's like there was so much musical history here in Michigan, and so much of it due to Berry Gordy.
So there we go.
Yeah.
On this day, Tom, you have to go. You have a traffic update.
I have other responsibilities, but this has been fun. I don't, know if I, held up to George's
you were
statue,
fantastic.
But
couldn't have talked about the Golden Globes without you.
Well, there we go. I know. Well, I'll be back for the Oscars.
Okay, perfect. You get out of here.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, Tom. I do want to just go over the stories that we have in the rundown this morning. The first one being what happened in Fruitport, which police there are still trying to find the guy who did this. They're looking for a robber who attacked the staff at this restaurant in Fruitport. So this happened at the Whitlow's restaurant. Around 6:10 in the morning on Saturday. The cook entered the building just before 6, and once he was in there, within 3 minutes, someone walked in behind him, according to the restaurant manager. They got into the safe, took the money, and then attacked the cook. This is what the manager told us after the fact.
Like everybody always says, see something, say something. So if they recognize it, don't be afraid to tell. This is getting crazy, and it's just sad. And it's really scary, and we're definitely going to have to change a lot of things that we do around here.
So she said that they're looking to add more security in light of that, but police just did share some of the surveillance images, but they're kind of blurry from the grease buildup in the kitchen. They're hoping, though, that they'll be able to find whoever did this. You can go to our website to get a closer look at some of those images, and police want you to let them know if you know anything about it. University of Michigan will have a new president after today. So Kent Severud, the chancellor of Syracuse University, also an alumnus from U of M, will officially take over as president, replacing the interim president, Domenico Grasso. And yeah, that will happen today. This has been a long time that they've been waiting to get a new president, so that will be big news today for Wolverines. Also, we want you to let you know that the marketplace enrollment deadline is coming up soon. This is important if you haven't gone through open enrollment, if you don't have health coverage, you have days left. The deadline is January 15th. The Michigan Department of Insurance and Financial Services has warned that if you miss the cutoff Thursday, you may not have another chance to enroll or change plans until next year. There is concern with the subsidies expired. They expired at the end of last month, that between 4 and 5 million Americans could go without health insurance coverage. If you don't have it, then they have urged you to get on and make sure that you do have coverage. Coming up tomorrow, President Trump plans to visit Detroit. This would be his third visit to the Detroit Economic Club, the first time, though, as sitting president. Now, this is only available to club members and their guests. The Detroit Auto Show kicks off the following day. Trump's team has not said if he plans to go to anything involved with the auto show. I do want to mention gas prices jumped 11 cents in the last week. So if you're heading out to fill up this morning, don't let that catch you off guard. We do have some of the lower prices in the state. In West Michigan, the average is $2.72. And that's it for Daybreak Plus on a Monday. Thanks for hanging out with me and the gang, and George will be back tomorrow to join me for more Daybreak Plus. We'll see you then. Have a great day.